Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident panelist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_data. Well, why don't we go ahead and jump right into it. We'll start with the injury report for Wednesday. Thursday being sort of the final injury report day. Chris Brooks, limited Tuesday, remains limited on Wednesday. Brenton Cox full on Tuesday and Wednesday, which is great. Again, I'm excited to get him back. Matthew Golden full Tuesday, Wednesday. Excited to have him kind of, ready to rock and roll. Josh Jacobs did not participate on Tuesday or Wednesday. Obviously, that's really not good news. Darian Kennard with his neck injury has been limited Tuesday, Wednesday. Marshawn Lloyd has not participated all week. Again, he's more than likely being shut down. Jordan Love full all week. Colin Oliver limited all week. Micah Parsons, we know the situation. Jaden Reed did not practice because of a personal matter. I don't have any details on what exactly that means. I don't know if it's a serious personal matter or a minor personal matter. Could be, he's going to his brother's wedding in Chicago or something. I don't know. I don't know why that would be in December, but could be that. Could be something much more serious. Obviously, hope that everything with him and his family is okay, and we'll see what exactly the situation is. The only sort of insights I was able to find, Bill Huber, much like everybody else, tweeted out Jaden Reed not practicing today for a personal matter, and then listed everybody else's situation. Tim said, the last time the Packers did not practice because of a personal matter, it was Dobbs sulking because he didn't like his role in the offense. I surely hope this is not something similar with Reed. Bill Huber says 1,000 or million, billion, I don't know, I'm not counting all those zeros, 1,000,000% no. Logan says, why is Jaden Reed not practicing? Bill Huber said, as I said in the tweet you responded to, a personal matter. Bill getting a little snippy. But suffice it to say, we don't know. Or, the people that know aren't saying. So I don't, we'll have to see. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, it might be a little bit more time to worry. Although, if it's not injury related, he could come back on Saturday and be perfectly fine to practice. They're just letting him go deal with something at home. So maybe even then it wouldn't be necessarily something to worry about. But again, it is something to worry about. Whether or not he'll play, and then obviously also, again, just hoping everything with him and his family is okay. It's a pretty broad spectrum of what that could possibly mean. Anywho, continuing on, Zach Tom has not practiced all week. Lucas Van Ness did actually improve from DNP to LP, not participating to limited participation. So we'll take that as good news, although I still just have this feeling he's not going to play, and it's just going to tick me off. Watson also improved from not participating to limited participation. That's fantastic news. All things considered with Watson, it is very exciting to see that he is progressing pretty quickly. Again, don't know for sure that he's going to play, but, I'm looking at Jaden Reed and Zach Tom and Lucas Van Ness and Christian Watson, and I'm going, boys, obviously, you got to do what you got to do, and you can't control some stuff. But I'm just letting you know, if you can't go, I'm just not watching. Just don't show up, all right? Just don't bother. Evan Williams did not participate all week. So, again, it's like, man, this is freaking brutal. Odunze Wicks upgraded from did not participate to limited participation. Savion Williams continues to be limited, and John Williams was actually added. If you remember, John Williams was a draft pick this year. I very much forget about that. Interior offensive lineman, by the way. So, be cool if he was good at football. Rich Eisen says NFL fans will miss having Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs because the league is better when the Chiefs are good. Man, this is why I hate the frickin' media so much. They are the main drivers of this bull crap. They want the same old frickin' team over and over. They are the biggest fair weather fans. I hate everything about that. The media are just fair weather fans. Whatever's the most popular is what they want. They're just going to ride the Chiefs, and they're going to promote the Chiefs all the time and all the popular frickin' teams. Man, I hate that crap. We need the Chiefs. No, we don't. And we don't need the refs promoting the Chiefs, and we don't need the NFL promoting the Chiefs, and we don't need the media promoting the Chiefs, and we don't need the frickin' commissioner trying to push for the Chiefs to have more success. We just need you to shut up and leave everything alone. So, this game absolutely hangs in the balance, very much based on what happens Thursday, what happens ultimately on Saturday. As for the Chicago Bears, running back Travis Homer, defensive tackle Andrew Billings, quarterback Tyson Bagent were full participants. Presumably they'll be good to go. Cole Kmet and Tremaine Edmunds remain limited participants. DeAndre Swift was added to the injury report on Wednesday with a groin injury. Linebacker, or however you say his name, has a hamstring injury, hasn't practiced all week. The two biggest ones, we got to keep an eye on a lot of this, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, et cetera, but the two biggest ones are Odunze and Luther Burden. Odunze has a foot injury and hasn't participated all week, Tuesday or Wednesday. Same for Luther Burden. He still has not participated all week. As far as expectations, we can't officially know, but as far as Odunze, if I had to guess today, obviously not practicing 2 days in a row would be a pretty strong indication, although Ben Johnson, as we talked about last time, does this on occasion, where he'll just shut somebody down and then be like, nah, he's fine. But it sounds very pessimistic for Odunze, and he's been out for some time now. Aside from him not practicing for the first 2 days being not a great indication for him, the biggest thing that has kind of tilted people is Ben Johnson stating that all options are on the table, including the possibility of shutting him down the remainder of the regular season so that he's completely fresh for the postseason. Now, obviously, the postseason is not guaranteed for the Chicago Bears at this point in time, but the fact that that is an option leads me to believe that they don't think he's going to play this week, unless it's just entirely mind games, because that's just not a thing that you say about a guy that you think is going to be ready this week. On the flip side is Luther Burden. Luther Burden has been described as day-to-day. Day-to-day generally is there's day-to-day and then there's week-to-week. If somebody says week-to-week, they're not playing this week. If it's day-to-day, generally decent chance that they're going to play this week. It's kind of a questionable tag generally. However, the fact that he hasn't practiced these 2 days is not great, and a lot of the reporters and whatnot are basically saying that Thursday, the final injury day is going to be kind of the big tell. If he doesn't practice that day, he's probably going to be shut down. If he's limited, then it'll probably be questionable. Full, maybe he's full go, but I would be surprised if he's full after being DNP for 2 weeks. But that's going to be kind of the big one. DeAndre Swift is a really weird, kind of a shocking thing. There's no real indication from anyone, but obviously there's a lot of sweating going on. It's profusive, the perspiration. Michael Dwojak noted that adding a starting running back to the report with a groin issue midweek is not ideal, with only 3 sleeps until game day. Clearly, that is the case. But like everything else, we'll see what Thursday's injury report brings. And then Tremaine Edmunds is kind of the big one. This is the one where it's like they opened up his 21-day window. I kind of thought it was more or less, I don't want to say guaranteed, but I felt pretty confident he was going to play. He is limited right now. I guess some of the insiders are saying it's going to be a little bit of a stretch to get him out there Saturday, but the fact that they're putting him out on the field right now means they're trying. They're pushing. They're trying to get him out there for Saturday. So it's going to be a race against the clock for Tremaine Edmunds and whether or not he's going to play. I mean, it's such is the life of Week 16 in the NFL, man. It is a battle of attrition, and the Packers are not winning that battle, but the Bears also have their own stuff going on. If they are without their top 2 receivers, that's freaking brutal. And then you lose your top running back. I'm not saying that they will, but similar to the Packers, you look at sort of the nightmare scenario. Even Tremaine, screw Tremaine Edmunds. He ain't going to change much. Again, he's having a good year, but it's a terrible defense, and Tremaine Edmunds does not tilt the field. So it's going to be big, man. This whole game, it feels like, just comes down to the injury reports. So stay tuned. What else? There's been a lot of talk about Matthew Judon being released. And I knew when that happened, everybody would say, please bring him to the Packers. Every comment under there was, please bring him to the Packers, send him to the Packers, announce him to the Packers. The reason I knew that is because I understand generally how these things work. I've described it on this podcast many times. What'll happen is a guy's a good football player. Matthew Judon has been a very good football player for a long time. And then what happens generally is you just don't hear his name. I don't know that anybody's really heard, unless you've been involved with Atlanta or Miami the last couple years, I don't know that anybody's really heard from Matthew Judon. And so when the name clicks into your ears, or your eyes, it brings you back to your most recent memory, which is, oh, that guy's pretty good. That guy was a beast in New England. We need that guy. We need that. We just lost our pass rusher. Makes perfect sense to me. Okay, here's the problem. First things first. Do you like Rashawn Gary? We'll just take this one step at a time. I got something for everybody, but let's start there. Do you like Rashawn Gary? If not, why not? I'm going to try to read your mind through the microphone, through the cable, through my freaking computer, out into the world, and then through a wormhole into the future, into your freaking brains. I'm doing a little mentalist trick. You do not like Rashawn Gary. This is only going to work. For some of you are like, what do you thought you failed already? But for some of you, this is going to freaking work. And you don't like Rashawn Gary because he doesn't produce vis-a-vis the sackage. Right? No sacks. Where's the sacks? Do you know how many sacks Matthew Judon has this year? Give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Starts with a Z, ends with Eero. This guy is 33 years old. He has a 47 pass rush grade, and in fact, this past week was his best week. Week 15 against Pittsburgh, he had a 64 pass rush grade. Unfortunately, his overall grade was a 26. His run defense grade was a 38. His tackling grade was a 25. His coverage grade was a 25. He has 10 pressures on 151 attempts and 0 sacks. That is a 6.6% pressure rate and 0 sacks. He's done. His last good year was 2022. Okay? In 2023, he turned 30 years old and got injured. He played only 184 snaps. That's it. He was done after that. Technically, his last good year was 2023 in New England. New England maybe played a part in that as well. But he got injured. He went to Atlanta the next year, had a 43 grade, 25 pressures and 6 sacks on 328 attempts is what he did for the season for Atlanta. And then Miami, 10 pressures, 0 sacks, 151 attempts. The guy is no good. He is a liability against the run. He is a liability as a tackler. He is a liability as a pass rusher. There is not a single edge rusher on our team, not one, that I would put Matthew Judon over. That would include our practice squad. I understand what he was in 2022, 2021, and before that in Baltimore. I get that. He was pretty decent. Really, from a sack perspective, really only had about 2 good years with New England. Pressures more than that, but, I know how some of you feel about that. But he's done. It's over. It has been 2 years of horrific play, which, by the way, some of you guys just need to recognize. I need you. I know how, I guess I don't know because I don't understand it, but for some people, you see that and it's just like your brain shuts off and you just go, ooh, gimme. It's kind of like throwing garbage in a goldfish tank. It's just going to suck it up and be like, bro, why did you eat that? You didn't think? That was a friggin' baby mini stick of dynamite. You're about to explode. I don't even know where I bought that from. But, what are we talking about? Yeah. The first thought that people should probably have in those situations is, why did the Miami Dolphins just release him? Why did they just go, yeah, you're not going to be on our team anymore? He's not even worthy to sit on their bench as a backup? Nothing? They just said, I want you out of here. I want you off this team. Why? And I'll be honest. I know not everybody is paying for a PFF subscription. It's freaking expensive. It's wildly unnecessary for most people. I have a podcast. I need it. But my goodness, I mean, you can look at some of the baseline stats, like sacks, which again, I don't think that gives you a huge picture, but there's other things. I mean, you can go to Pro Football Reference. They've got AV. There's different places you can go. In fact, I should maybe try to find some. I don't know. But also, look at his age would be something I would look at. I'd be looking at his snap counts. For example, I don't know that he got injured, but when I see in 2023 he only played 184 snaps, again, you can go to Pro Football Reference and you can view all these things. You can get a snapshot and kind of see some of this stuff. Oh, he's 33 and he got injured in 2023. By the way, he's been on 3 different teams in 3 years. And also, I need to know, why did Miami just let him walk out the door? And by let him, I mean pushed him, forced him. No decision in this. You are leaving. Goodbye. Get out of my building. Get out of my sight, you loser. Until you have those answers, I don't know that you should have the emphatic desire, shall we say, to bring him in. Curiosity's fine, but yes, I think it's a good idea. Probably gotta do a little bit more looking into, or at least wait for other guys to start talking on social media about it. Nagler always does his no thing or yet or maybe thing. I don't think I've ever seen him say yes, but maybe or no. I did something similar today. You could always just jump underneath there and be like, what's the problem? What are you talking about? I'll tell you. I don't, obviously I'm saving it for the podcast, but I'll drop it. No big deal. It's not a big national secret. Anywho's, let's take a break. We'll be right back. So generally around this time, we would start digging into our opponent. We've done most of that already. I don't want to spend 2 days or even really 1 day going over all this information. Here's their quarterback and here's all this stuff. It's not really necessary. Necessary? Is it necessary to drink my own urine? No, but it's sterile and I like the taste. That was really weird if you don't know that movie. I can't say the word necessary or hear the word necessary without hearing that line running through my head.
Necessary? Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine?
Probably not.
No, but I do it anyway because it's sterile and I like the taste.
Okay.
And if you're going to lead this squad to the floor, you got to learn to do the dance and the dog.
Figured I'd leave that last bit in there because that's probably a fantastic line for Packer fans to know. If you're going to lead this squad, LaFleur, you're going to need to know how to do the dance of the dog or whatever the stupid thing is. I've probably said it before. This is like the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. As far as like I've never laughed so hard, it would be between this and the first time I saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Those are the 2 movies I remember. Like the Black Knight scene from Monty Python, I couldn't freaking breathe. And then this whole movie, I was dying. Anywho, it's not necessary to run through all those things again. However, one thing is going to be different. Obviously, the injuries, which we already discussed and will continue to discuss. The other is the officiating crew. And he was kind enough to send me this in a DM, I'm guessing because he would like me to share it with the podcast audience, and so I will. It's a good follow that we all probably should follow. It's NFL Ref Stats at NFL Ref Stats 1. Apparently somebody stole that freaking handle from him. What a crying shame. Number 1 for NFL referee data with analysis. NFL officiating at NFL Football Ops can't provide. Customizing game-specific officiating models. Also find me at Sharp Football. Okie dokie. Anyways, he put together a little cheat sheet for us for the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers, and so I figured I'd go through that. These referees now make such a big difference. This is becoming like a needed thing. We need to know the stats and the data of the reffing crew so we know what to expect from these frickin'... I'll be nice. The offensive holding / false start combination accounts for an above average 41.5% of Alex Kemp's crew's penalties in 2025. The primary contributor is offensive holding, a category this crew ranked 2nd overall in. Unfortunately, we don't really care anymore. Those categories account for an above-average percentage of the Packers and Bears penalties at 44% and 42% respectively. Meaning, Packers and Bears hold a lot, and this crew likes to call holding penalties. Goody. That combination and who best navigates it Saturday will be key. Favorites are on a historic run with Alex Kemp going 27-3 straight up, which is 90%, and 25-5 against the spread, which is 83%, with him officiating since the start of the 2024 season. The Packers, by the way, are still favorites in this game. Obviously, that is subject to change depending on how the injuries fall, but more than likely, this is where we're going to stand pending some kind of major surprise outcome. In other words, this is good news for us. Teams that are favorites to win almost always win with this reffing crew. How much of that is actually the referee crew compared to just kind of a coincidence? I don't know. Especially the 83% against the spread thing. That's pretty wild. This game is currently a pick'em at most places, but will be interesting to see where the point spread is at kickoff. Kemp's crew ranks 4th in special team. Oh, no. 4th in special teams penalties per year. My lord. I think the goal for this game is 1 punt return without a penalty. Depending on how often we can force them to punt, that may be an easy or challenging thing. But boy, if we could just get 1, I feel like we're really onto something here. Kemp is 9-4 under the total in 2025, with games averaging just 38.5 points, probably because of all the penalties. Third down alert, Alex Kemp's crew are awarding the second highest amount of automatic first downs via penalty on third down. I'm sure none of those will be controversial. Packers are a top 5 penalized defense in this category, although Chicago is not a prolific offensive unit generating the beneficial penalties in this area. Oh, this is lovely. Alex Kemp's crew co-ranked number 1 in interceptions per game in 2025. I'm not sure how the refs could necessarily impact that, but good to know. And then NFL ref stats put down their own prediction. Bears 24, Packers 21. So, again, a pretty good resource if you want to check that out. He is, again, at NFL Ref Stats 1 on Twitter. Why don't we take a break here? Because I want to get to something that's near and dear to my heart. And I have been patiently waiting. I've been a good boy. I have done all the news. I've done all the things that are... I've eaten all my vegetables, okay? I gave the news. And now I want to have some fun. Okay? Can I have some fun? Let's have some fun. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, Christmas came early for me. Thank you to the Chicago Bears. Now, if you've been listening for a while, or even if you haven't and just been kind of paying attention generally to news, Chicago Bears news in particular, you know that there's a weird thing going on with the Chicago Bears and their stadium situation. I'll be honest, I don't even remember all the details, but they've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They essentially used Arlington Heights as a threat to Chicago, and then Arlington Heights fell through, and then they went back to Chicago, and then the mayor said, or the governor said, we're not paying for your stupid stadium, and so now it is a disaster. They don't know where to go. They can't figure out what to do. The president seems completely inept in making any kind of negotiation, and even funnier than that is it seems as though nobody wants the Chicago Bears anywhere. Chicago doesn't want the Bears. Arlington Heights doesn't want the Bears. It just seems like they're basically out there trying to play hardball with a bunch of people that don't give a crap. Like, I guess we'll leave. And it's like, okay, bye, you stupid losers. Wow, we're gonna lose you. We're gonna lose all those Super Bowls that you guys bring us every freaking year. All that playoff revenue that you bring to us. Thank you so much for that. I haven't heard much about it, but that was the general gist. They're like, fine, we're going to go to... And even funnier, they apparently purchased a massive amount of land in Arlington Heights, and then they basically had to abandon it and then go back to Chicago, and then it was like, okay, we're going to work in Chicago, and then the governor thing happened. But my good Lord. So the president, brilliant man as he is, Kevin Warren... CEO, excuse me. Is it president? Yeah, president and CEO. He's both. He says, Dear Chicago Bears fans, I'm not going to read all this. Well, it's not that long. We'll probably skip a lot of it. On Monday night of our home opener, September 8th, 2025, the passion in every corner of Soldier Field was palpable and powerful. Today, 100 days later, that feeling is even stronger. We had a big win this past week, blah, 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 blah. That same standard has guided our work on a new world-class stadium, and boy, is everybody excited about it. I tell you, they're fighting over it. Earlier this season, we shared that Arlington Heights is the only location in Cook County that meets the requirements for a world-class NFL stadium. We still believe it offers the best and only path forward in Cook County, given there are no other viable alternatives. Hilarious. So apparently, I've been out of the loop, and Chicago is out of the... So the Chicago Bears will no longer be in Chicago? Is that correct? Okay, moving on. Over the past several years, we have worked in good faith with Illinois leaders and made clear our commitment and readiness to invest more than $2 billion by the Chicago Bears, one of the largest private investments in state and NFL history. So understand what he's saying. We've been going all over Illinois. The mayor of Chicago, the governor, all over. Hey guys, look how great we are. Everybody loves us, right? We're going to invest all this money. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to give you $2 billion. Does anybody want it? He goes on to say, we have not asked for state taxpayer dollars to build the stadium at Arlington Park. We asked only for a commitment to essential local infrastructure, roads, utilities, and site improvements, which is more than typical for projects of this size. Additionally, we sought reasonable property tax certainty to secure financing. We listened to state leadership and relied on their direction and guidance, yet our efforts have been met with no legislative partnership. Hey guys, we're going to throw $2 billion into Arlington Heights. How does Arlington Heights just stick up their nose at $2 billion? They're too good for the Chicago Bears. They're just like, hey, if you wouldn't mind, could you just help us, connect the road and stuff? You know, help us with utilities because we would like to have lights at our stadium. And they're saying all this stuff, and everybody's just like, bro, shut up. What do you want, dude? So freaking annoying. Our efforts have been met with no legislative partnership. Nobody in the legislature is willing to do anything with the Chicago Bears. Everybody's response has been, bro, shut up. Do you understand how beautiful this is for me? Do you understand how much I love this? How much I have talked crap about the Bears? Do you understand how much they talk crap about us? About how great Chicago is and how wonderful, everybody wants to go to Chicago. Everybody wants to be here. Nobody wants you. Bro, nobody wants you. The stakes for Illinois are significant. Thousands of union jobs. Yes, you gotta, when you're talking to the government people, not thousands of jobs, thousands of union jobs. Year-round attractions and global events made possible by a fixed-roof stadium that would provide long-term revenue for the state. For a project of this scale, uncertainty has significant consequences. Stable timelines are critical, as the predictable process and elected leaders who share a sense of urgency and appreciation for public partnership that projects with this level of impact require. We have not received that sense of urgency or appreciation to date. Bro, we're on a time. We need a place to play football. By the way, this is what I was talking about in the offseason. They don't have a plan for 2026 on whether they're going to be in Chicago or Arlington Heights. So they go to Arlington Heights, they buy property. People in Arlington Heights are like, no, screw that guy. I think it was like the teachers union or something ridiculous. Like, no, get him out of here. The traffic or something. I don't know. Taxes, something about taxes. So they're like, fine, screw you. We're going back to Chicago. And Chicago's like, yeah. And the governor just randomly pops up and he's like, oh, by the way, screw the Bears. We're not paying for any of your crap. And he's like, we never asked for anything. I mean, a couple light fixtures and a road would be nice, but otherwise... Nah, I don't think so. So then Chicago's like, fine. Then I guess it's Arlington Heights. And Arlington Heights is like, still no. And Chicago's like, guys, billions of dollars, thousands of jobs, please help me. We don't have a place to play football. It's the Chicago Bears. It's kind of iconic, kind of a big deal. We bring in a lot of money for the state. Please help. Busy. Kind of busy. Just not feeling it, you know what I mean? Don't we already have a team called the Bulls or something? What are the Bulls? Do you mean the Cubs? Why do you keep saying Bears? Do you mean Cubs? The little ones? The little Bears? No, the big ones. The big Bears. The giant Bears. Soldier Field. Soldiers. America. Patriotism. Dick Buttkiss. Come on. I think he means the Blackhawks. I don't know what he's talking about. How many freaking sports teams do we need here? I don't understand. Why do we have to keep doing this? Which sport is this? We've got like 100 football stadiums for college football and high school. Like, what are we doing? We have not received that sense of urgency or appreciation to date. They don't seem to appreciate what the hell we do here. We're in a bit of a pinch here, folks. Help! Just don't want to. That is so funny to me. They are begging anyone to give a crap about them. Nobody wants them. They can't get a single politician to give a crap about them. No legislative partnership. No sense of urgency or appreciation to date. I'm not even done. I want to just marinate in this for a little bit. This is bliss. In the midst of Bears fans having their best season in a long time, these Chicagoans, or Illinoisans who like to call themselves Chicagoans, who are diehard Bears fans. The Bears, the Chicago Bears, and the Bulls, and the sausages, and the hot dogs, and the Portillos, and all that stuff. Deep dish pizza, bro, let's go. You know what I mean? I dig it. I can appreciate Chicago, the music, the food. I've talked about it. I dig it. I think it's underappreciated. I like laughing at them, but it's good stuff. But they just want so desperately to be loved and appreciated. They want, I've said forever, they have this little man syndrome. Nobody gives a crap about Chicago, and it pisses them off so much. They can't stand it. They want to believe so bad that they are like the New York City of the Midwest. They are Los Angeles. Nobody cares about Chicago. And the fact of the matter is, people, when they talk about the Midwest, much rather prefer Wisconsin. Even people from Illinois prefer Wisconsin. If you don't believe me, go up north anywhere in Wisconsin. Start with Minocqua. If you can find 10 license plates, at any point throughout the day, count 10 license plates. If you can find one time in a series of 10 that doesn't have an Illinois license plate, I'll give you $1 million. This is during the summer months now. Because all the people with the money down in Illinois, when they're done making all that money down there, they flee up here to their lake houses to get the hell away from that hellhole that is Chicago. Nobody wants to be there. Nobody likes it there. Nobody wants to live there. It sucks there. And they don't want to believe that. Everybody loves us. We're the best. We're the good ones. We're cool, right, guys? We're not like these other Midwest losers. Like, we're hip and cool. Like, we're the Los Angeles of the mid. Bro, nobody likes you. You're irrelevant. That's why. Don't misunderstand this. The fact that the Packers have beat the crap out of the Bears for decades is only part of their frustration with Green Bay. They seethe at the idea that this tiny town is doing so much better than big Chicago. Not that it even makes sense. They're football teams. The size of the city is irrelevant. But it infuriates them because they feel entitled to it. We are the great and mighty Chicago Bears. We should have all the great things. How do these redneck loser people have so much good thing that they want the praise? And they never get it. They never get it for their food. They never get it for their frickin' scenery. That stupid frickin' bean that sits in the middle. Nobody gives a crap about your stupid bean. Nobody likes to eat hot dogs the way you like to eat hot dogs. Nobody cares about your beef sandwiches. Nobody likes your pizza. I love it. But everybody looks at it and they're like, this is stupid. This is a lasagna or something. And then people in Chicago be like, no, that's not our real pizza. We like this kind of pizza. Nobody cares about that either. Nobody cares about Portillo's. But you know what happens when they come to the Midwest? Everybody wants to go to Culver's, right? They want to go to Culver's. They don't want Portillo's hot dogs. They want Culver's cheeseburgers. They want cheese curds. All this stuff pisses them off so much. They hate it. It's like some weird one of those chick flick romances or something, or maybe like a Pauly Shore movie. I don't know why that popped into my head, but what is that movie actually? It is a Pauly Shore movie. The one where they go to like the farm or whatever. But you got like the rich kid, right? Good looking, got a lot of money, nice car, and he likes the girl. And the girl likes Pauly Shore, who's this weird, poor, smelly looking. Yes, I said smelly looking. Look at him. He's smelly looking. Freaking weirdo. And the guy is pissed. Not only is he pissed because he doesn't have the girl that he wants, but he's pissed because the girl likes this slob-looking freak guy. That's the situation. They hate it so much. They want to be bigger than what they are, and nobody likes them. Nobody loves them. Nobody cares about them. They're not cool. They're not hip. They're not rich. They're not anything. They're freaking irrelevant. They don't have any good sports teams ever. Since the 90s. The 90s, and again, I had it the best of all worlds. I was a Packers, Bulls, and Blackhawks fan. I mean, it was bliss for me. I had Brett Favre, Michael Jordan, and Chris Chelios. I was living the dream in the 90s. And the only reason is because I get my Packers fandom from my dad, and he only cared about football. He didn't care about the rest of these sports. So we all kind of liked the Bulls down there, because why not? And I only liked the Blackhawks because my brother liked hockey, and being from Illinois, it was the Blackhawks. So there you go. Baseball, nobody cared in my family. Pretty much across Illinois when I was growing up, I don't think anybody cared. But everything is just bad for them all the time, and it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. And now you have the Bears, this iconic, historic franchise in the heart of Chicago, in the midst of a phenomenal season, with this coach that is revolutionary, with a quarterback that is transformational, with a GM that pops his collar and cooks, whatever that means. And they go to the politicians, clearly too late, by the way, and they say, we'd like to negotiate something for Chicago. We're going to build a new stadium. And the politicians look at them and go, yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't think that's a good idea. And so they threaten, which, by the way, I think most of this, we're not even done yet, but most of this is kind of an idle threat to hope. That's why it's public. They want to try to spur action from politicians because they feel like politicians react. The problem is they need actual people to give a crap enough to call their local representatives. Are they going to have enough people do that? They can't even have anyone show up for family night. How many people are going to pick up the phone and say, I demand the Chicago Bears? That's the whole point. Nobody cares. But it was a threat. Fine, we'll go to Arlington Heights. I'll do it. I swear, we'll leave Chicago. How stupid will you look if I leave Chicago? I will take the Bears out of this city, and it'll be your fault, Lightfoot. I don't know if she's still the mayor, but I think she is. She was. I don't know. Going to be your fault? How's that going to make you feel? Nobody cares. Fine, we're leaving. We're leaving. Did you hear me? I said we're leaving. Hello? I'll do it. Fine. Go buy that giant piece of property for way too much money. There, we bought it. Ha ha ha. Now what? Yeah. Now you want to negotiate? Hello? Freaking, oh God. And then they get in there and they buy this massive piece of land, 326 acres. They bought it for $200 million. They bought it prior to working anything out with anybody. They didn't have a deal in place in Arlington Heights. They may have had something tentative, but it certainly wasn't locked down. So they come in, they're trying to swing their weight around, and they say, look, actually, let's do this right. Let's get all the details out. So they go to Arlington Heights, okay? There is basically one place in Illinois that you're going to find that fits everything they need. A massive plot of land, which is hard to find, if we're talking suburbs. Obviously, you go out into farmland, there's a lot. But if you want to move out into the suburbs, trying to find, 300 acres or whatever, very difficult. You also need a highway and, a train station. So Arlington Park was the only place available. Churchill Downs owned it. There's a racetrack there. This place was worth, apparently, about $60 million. The Bears paid $200 million. How we get there, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure. The Bears' logic, obviously, is, look, this is, billions of dollars over the course of time. I still don't know how Churchill Downs was able to coax them into that amount of money, if they just gouged the crap out of them or if there was a big bidding war. I don't really know. But hilariously, the Bears jumped on it. They spent $200 million. While they own it, by the way, they have to pay taxes on that. And herein lies the issue. They bought the land, and immediately the school districts come in, because the school districts earn their money based on the taxes, and this would be a major part of their revenue, depending on how much the Bears pay. They could get a ton, or they could get kind of screwed for that area, screwed being kind of relative. It's still going to be a boon either way, but depending on how much they end up paying. Well, this becomes an immediate fight, And now the Bears are stuck. They're stuck with the land, and they're stuck in a fight with a bunch of people who are saying, oh, no, you're going to be paying more in taxes. And the Bears are saying, we can't pay that. I don't know how much of this is interesting, but I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the heck was all going on here. So there's two main things. First of all, the Bears bought it, demolished everything. The reason that they did that, I mean, obviously for the sake of construction, but also when there's actual buildings on it, the tax rate is much higher than if you just tear it all down and it's just a pile of dirt. When it's a pile of dirt, you're paying about 10%. I think it's 10% taxes as opposed to like 25% for developed. So they tear it all down. They're still paying 10% on this. This was going back to, I don't know when they initially bought it. February of 2023. So think about this. They've had this giant plot of land. They spent $200 million. They've been fighting with Chicago, trying to get all this stuff figured out, whatever. They finally say, fine, we're moving to Arlington Heights. They buy this plot of land. In 2023, they're paying taxes on this, on 326 acres of dirt that is not being utilized for the Chicago Bears. They get into a fight with the school districts. The Bears wanted to pay the $60 million. They're like, no, it's only worth about $60 million. We're not paying the $200 million in taxes. School districts are like, nah, screw you. You paid $200 million. It's worth $200 million. That's what you pay, which means you're going to pay 10% of $200 million. And then when you build on it, you're paying 25% of $200 million every year. And the Bears are like, that's ridiculous. We can't do that. So in 2024, they reached some kind of an agreement. They would agree to value the land at $124.7 million. Call it a halfway point. So their tax bill is $3.6 million per year. That's what they've been paying for this plot of dirt. However, the Bears will not and cannot build until they get some kind of a certainty that their tax bill is not going to be something that they can't afford. The Bears are demanding what's called a pilot, payment in lieu of taxes. This would freeze the property tax assessment at a set rate for decades. In other words, yeah, we're going to be paying a ton, but down the line, it's not just going to keep going up through the roof. The reason that they want that is because they don't want to build a $5 billion stadium on top of it, and then they come in and reassess the property at the new value of presumably $5 billion plus, sending their $3.6 million tax bill to $150 million overnight. Governor Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, basically said, nope, not doing that. We're not doing it. So they're stuck with this piece of dirt, and they're like, guys, I'd like to build a stadium. By the way, just the fact that they're not building in Chicago is hilarious, because Chicago just went, nah. The Bears kept threatening, we're going to leave. Chicago said, nah, nobody cares. Screw you. We don't care, which is hilarious for both reasons. It's hilarious on both sides of the issue. It's hilarious that the Chicago Bears are so irrelevant and stupid and so unwanted that the city of Chicago looked at one of its most historic institutions, most iconic institutions, and said, nobody likes you, nobody cares, go away. I freaking love that. For a fan base that has felt so unloved and so unwanted, it's like a child that has grown up with parents that just never loved them and showed them affection or anything like that. And they finally get to be about like 25 years old, and the child confronts their parent. And they're like, Dad, I got to talk to you. I just need you to know that I never have felt loved by you. And I've never felt appreciated by you. And I would just love to hear from you that you actually do love me. And the dad looks him in the face and says, but I don't love you. I've never loved you. I don't care about you. Get out of my life. And as tragic as that story is, I love that story. It's my favorite story. It is the story of the Chicago Bears. Nobody loves you. Even as you sit here and you talk about, oh, we're going to win the division. We're going to run the North. We're going to be so good. Ha ha, Packers. Ha. Your own city doesn't even care about you. We don't care about you. The Lions don't care about you. The Vikings don't care about you. The NFC North doesn't care about you. Goodell doesn't care about you. Your own damn city doesn't care about you. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes your stupid food, your stupid city, your stupid buildings that you change the name. The only building that anybody cares about is the Sears Tower. And you call it what? The Willis Tower? I will never call it that. What is that? That's not a thing. The only thing left in Chicago is crime and hell. It is an overtaxed hellhole, and everybody is leaving. Everybody is fleeing. And to the remaining people, the city of Chicago will look you in the face and say, go. Then go. We don't need you. The other side of the coin, by the way, that's also funny, is how stupid Chicago is. As much as I love this story, how do you let the Bears walk out the door? How do you do that? How are you so poorly run and stupid? How does the mayor of Chicago allow them to leave? What, because they're not going to give you all the money that you demand? You greedy, grubby little jag-off? You just need all the money? You need all the money? Good. Lose all the money, like you lose everything else, like every single store and everything else that's just fleeing there. Good. You deserve nothing. Because you provide nothing and you just take and take and take and take and take and take. And the one institution that actually loves you and cares about you and wants to be there and wants to provide for you and for the people of Chicago, that wants to not only provide tax revenue, but entertainment, and you stick your nose up because they're not going to give you enough money. You need all the money. And then they say, fine, we're going to go to Arlington Heights. Arlington Heights that nobody gives a crap about is going to get just the most beautiful thing in the world. This iconic franchise, the Chicago Bears, are coming to Arlington Heights, and they say, look, we've chosen you. You are the chosen one. You are the chosen people, my child. And what does Arlington Heights do? First of all, they sell it. They sell a $60 million piece of land for $200 million. They screw the Bears out of all their money. And then once they get there, they go, all right, guys, let's do a little business. I'm going to throw hundreds of millions of dollars at you every single year. And the teachers come out of the woodwork and they go, we need more money. Where's the money? I want more money. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm going to give you lots of money. No, I need more money. Give me all your money. You're all idiots. You're all stupid. I wish nothing but the worst for all parties involved. Let's continue with the letter, shall we? We left off with, we have not received that sense of urgency or appreciation to date. Wait for it. Here's the kill shot. We have been told directly by state leadership that our project will not be a priority in 2026 despite the benefits it will bring to Illinois. They have flat out told them. It's not, by the way, it's 2025 right now. The Chicago Bears have been trying to do this since 2023. They've been trying to figure, probably since before 2020. 2023 is just when they said, fine, we're going to Arlington Heights. We're leaving. Bye. Fine. You don't believe me? I'll do it. I'll freaking do it. That's just when that happened. They've been trying to get this done forever and have been failing miserably across the board because they really thought they could push their weight around. We're the big, mighty Chicago Bears. Everybody will do what we say. And nobody likes them. The disconnect between how much they thought they were worth and how much nobody loves them, massive disconnect apparently. But in 2025, to have state leadership, so presumably we're talking about the governor, tell you to your face that your project will not be a priority all of next year. Just want you to know, whatever it is you have planned for next year, whatever you want to talk to me about next year, about your big plans, not talking to you about it. Don't care. Not a priority. Don't talk to me. It's 2025. Just so you know, in 2026, not gonna do it. We're not talking to you. We're not working with you. Screw you. That's crazy. Just getting a jump on it by the end of 2025. I'm just going to let you know before next year even gets here. Don't talk to me next year either. Okay? I got other stuff going on. You are not a priority to me. The governor of Illinois told the Chicago Bears they're not a priority. We don't give a damn. It's so beautiful. Consequently, in addition to Arlington Park, so hilariously, they're in Chicago. They're paying for Chicago. They paid to be in Arlington Heights at Arlington Park. They're paying to be in Arlington Park. In addition to that, at these two different places, we need to expand our search and critically evaluate opportunities throughout the wider Chicagoland region, including Northwest Indiana. By the way, and again, I believe that this is a threat, Indiana probably going to have significantly better tax situation. So as much as this is like an kind of probably an idle threat, Indiana is probably going to swoop in and be like, bro, for sure. Now, Indiana already has a team, but I doubt they give a crap if the Chicago Bears are like, hey, you want all our money? Like, Can we go to Gary? Which, oh my lord. If there's any place on earth that I'd rather go less than Chicago, it's Gary, Indiana. Ugh. It would be a fitting location for the Bears. I saw somebody on social media say we call them the Gare Bears, which is just hilarious. Caleb Williams and the Gare Bears. So again, I think it's probably a threat, but Chicago doesn't care, and Indiana is going to offer them a significantly better tax situation. I've been going through this conversation with AI to try to fully understand what the heck is going on, what are the tax implications, all this different stuff. Let me just read this to you. In many ways, the fight in Illinois has become so toxic that the Bears aren't just looking for better numbers in Indiana, they're looking for a different system entirely. As of December 17th, 2025, the contrast between these two states is stark. While Illinois is demanding the Bears pay off old debts before talking about new deals, Indiana has already passed laws specifically designed to roll out the red carpet for them. Oh, please, Indiana, please, baby. Roll out that carpet, baby. I want you to be the second team in Indiana. That's what I want the Bears to be. This team that's so prideful for being the great and powerful Chicago football team is going to be the number 2 team in Indiana. Welcome to Gary. Yes. Here is what the likely Indiana offer looks like compared to the Illinois reality. Number 1, the tax freeze, which is the Bears' holy grail. The Bears asked for mega project legislation to freeze their taxes for 40 years. Illinois lawmakers refused, calling it a corporate giveaway. Again, this is Illinois in a nutshell. Give me the money. We don't want corporations to have the money. We should have all your money. That's a great strategy for getting corporations in your city. It's a corporate giveaway. What a hilarious way to phrase that, by the way. It's a giveaway. If I let you keep your money, it's like I'm giving away the money to you. The hell are you talking about? You're not giving me anything, stupid. It's my money. You don't have anything to give. You make nothing. You generate nothing. You're a frickin' giant black hole of suck. Just this week, state leaders told the Bears the project will not be a priority in 2026, as we just read. Indiana recently created the Northwest Indiana Professional Sports Development Commission. How interesting! What wonderful timing! The commission has the power to create a master plan. So you just created a commission, and you've given them the power to create a master plan. What would that do? It would bypass standard property tax hikes. Interesting. So you just happen to create a professional sports development commission in the region the Bears are looking to expand to, which is so fortunate because what are the odds that somebody would happen to be looking in Northwest Indiana to start a professional sports team? That's weird. What a coinky-dink. And that commission is essentially tasked with doing exactly what the Chicago Bears want. Interesting! Indiana is much more likely to offer a fixed, predictable fee that won't change even if the stadium's value triples. Governor Pritzker in Illinois has set a prerequisite. The Bears must help pay off the $500 million still owed for the 2003 renovations to Soldier Field. That honestly feels a little fair. The Bears offered $25 million in October, which the governor essentially laughed at. No wonder the governor's like, dude, screw you guys. Because the Bears apparently are deadbeats. They rack up debts and don't pay them. Oh, I love every freaking thing about this. Indiana has zero baggage with the Bears. So, hey, you guys don't owe us anything. You owe us no debts. So, slate is free and clear. Come on over. Governor Mike Braun stated today that he is ready to work with them and sees the team as a major economic boost rather than a debtor. Indiana would ask the Bears to pay for a stadium in Chicago. They would likely offer to help pay for the roads and pipes leading to the new one in Gary or Hammond. What? This is wonderful. It's a match made in heaven. Golly gee. In Illinois, the Bears asked for $855 million in public money for roads, utilities, and sewers around Arlington Heights. Illinois said no. Arguing that the Bears should pay for their own neighborhood improvements. Screw you. You pay for roads and sewer. What are we, the government? Freaking get a load of this guy, you know what I'm talking about? The new Indiana Commission, on the other hand, is authorized to use state and local funds to build the very infrastructure Illinois refused to fund. Indiana often uses tax increment financing, or TIF, more aggressively, meaning the taxes generated by the stadium itself would be recycled to pay for the roads and sewers the Bears need. While we don't have the final Indiana contract yet, here's the rumored math based on current legislative proposals. Annual property taxes. In Indiana, the negotiated fixed fee would probably be in the range of $15 to $30 million per year. If they were to build in Illinois as of right now without a new deal in place, it's $150 million estimated after build per year. Infrastructure aid. Indiana has offered $500 million plus dollars. Illinois has offered $0. Political baggage. Indiana, they owe nothing. Illinois, saying you must pay $500. So Illinois is saying you have to pay us $500 million to clear your debts. We're not giving you any aid whatsoever, and you have to pay us $150 million a year after you build your $5 billion stadium, which obviously you're going to have a massive loan that you're going to have to pay back on. Indiana is saying, you owe us nothing. We'll give you $500 million in building funds. You pay us $15 to $30 million a year. As much as this feels like a threat, bro, if I'm the Bears, I'm leaving. Screw you guys. Are you kidding me? I mean, just compare Chicago saying you must pay $500 million and Indiana saying we'll give you $500 million. You understand that's a $1 billion swing? Now, granted, I can't imagine how they get out of paying Chicago the debt, but, still. And then you're talking over $100 million is the gap per year in taxes? Continuing with the letter here. Let me go back to the start of this paragraph. Consequently, in addition to Arlington Park, we need to expand our search and critically evaluate opportunities throughout the wider Chicagoland region, bullcrap, including Northwest Indiana. This is not about leverage. We spent years trying to build a new home in Cook County. We invested significant time and resources evaluating multiple sites and rationally decided on Arlington Heights. Our fans deserve a world-class stadium. Our players and coaches deserve a venue that matches the championship standard they strive for every day. With that in mind, our organization must keep every credible pathway open to deliver that future. The Bears have called Chicago home for more than a century. One certainty is that our commitment to the city will not change. We will continue to provide unwavering support to the community. We need to secure a world-class venue for our passionate fan base and honor the energy you bring every week. The Chicago Bears are a founding franchise, playing in the oldest and smallest stadium in the NFL. As we move forward, our goal is clear. Build a world-class football team that has a world-class stadium worthy of our world-class fans. A stadium that reflects the future we are building together. Every home game, we are reminded of one thing. Bears fans are the best fans in sports. We appreciate you. By the way, I have a tweet here by one of those best fans in sports. Caleb Goat, quarterback one, a.k.a. Joey, says, if the Bears move to Indiana, I'll be a diehard Packer fan without hesitation. I promise you. There's your best fans for you. Anyways. That felt good. It felt so good. Cathartic. Cathartic is the name of the game, folks. And I love that it's Bears week coming up. And again, they're trying so hard to be like, yeah, this is a big deal. We're going to do this to the Packers and everything else. And all the while underneath, Chicago and Illinois is saying, screw you. We don't care about you. We don't like you. And the Bears are saying, fine, we don't need Chicago. We're going to Indiana. And Bears fans are it's like mom and dad just right there fighting, saying, screw you, I don't need you or your family. And the mom's saying, no, screw you and your family. And the kids are like, bro, what are we talking about here? Screw you and your kids. No, screw you and your kids. I'm leaving. And you're taking the kids. No, I'm leaving. Goodbye. Have fun with your kids. Bears fans. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes your city. Nobody likes your team. Your team doesn't even like your city, and your city doesn't even like your team, bro. Nobody likes you. Crazy. But by all means, sit there in Chicago and tell everyone, tell us all again how great you are. Say it louder, because apparently nobody can hear you. Maybe what you should do is tell all those people that are fleeing your frickin' state, be like, hey, tell everybody how great it is back here and that they should come back here. They could be like evangelists. Except something tells me they're probably not saying that when they leave. Just a thought, considering I'm one of them. And I don't say that. I don't say I loved it there. I said since I was a child, as soon as I graduate high school, I'm getting the heck out of here. And I did exactly that. Immediately left. But have fun with whatever the heck is left back there for you. Dog crap team, dog crap stadium, dog crap city. Screw you guys. Oh, yeah, but no, you're doing great this year. You're having a great year. Caleb looks great. No, it's great. The Hammond Bears. He's a great quarterback for the Hammond Bears. It's got to be Gary, doesn't it? I mean, it's a bad city and all, but I mean, it rolls off the Gary Bears. It sounds so stupid. The Gary Bears. You can't say it and not think of like a children's cartoon. Hey, you guys gonna watch the Gary Bears tonight? Hey, I think who's playing on Monday? Oh, the Gary Bears. Oh, good. You guys are stupid, man. You're so dumb. All right, I'm out of here. I needed to share that. I needed to get that off my... This is Christmas come early. This letter that might just be nothing but a threat, and they're never leaving. Although it's so funny because I look at it, I'm like, nah, it's a threat. They're just... But first of all, I thought Arlington Heights was a threat, and it turns out that was very real. And now they're saying kind of screw you. And then when you look at the finances, they can't stay, can they? How do you stay? Especially when Indiana's like, oh no, we'll take you. Don't you already have a team? Yeah, but we like revenue. Not just from you, but I mean, think about you understand how much money you're going to make? Hotels, how much that's going to be a boon for Gary, and you start building up the infrastructure around there. You understand they're going to have Super Bowls there in that stadium, 100%. As soon as that's built, they're going to put you on the docket for a Super Bowl. Plus, all your fans are right across the state there. Plus, that whole region there, a lot of Bears fans over there in western Indiana. Tons of Bears fans. So they're already Bears fans. Plus, the actual Chicago Bears fans, it's what, a 30-minute drive across the freaking line? Do it. Do it. I want you to do it. I want the official death of the Chicago Bears to happen right in the midst of them trying so hard to be happy for once because their team doesn't suck. Please do it. All right, I'm leaving. I just want to stick it and twist it one more time. Just let me keep just a couple more twists, okay? And then I'll get out of here. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Laugh at your Bears fans, friends, and family. Do that for me. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Nobody loves you, nobody cares. You knocked on every door, nobody's there. Nobody needs you, nobody's home. 100 years of begging, and you're still alone, all alone. $2 billion, baby, waving in the air, and then every single politician said we don't care. You went to Chicago, they said boy, bye. You went to Arlington, same reply. Governor looked you dead in your eyes, said 2026 ain't happening, surprise. You thought you had the leverage, thought you had the juice, but everybody in the state just cut you loose. They said no, they said go. Now everybody knows you got nothing left to show. Nobody loves you, nobody cares. $2 billion and nobody's there. Nobody wants you. Isn't that sad? The whole state of Illinois said we're glad you're mad. So sad. Little man syndrome, always gotta scream, thinking you're the prize when you're barely a dream. We're the LA of the Midwest, boy. Please, nobody wants your pizza or your weird deep freeze. Your own fans, baby, said they switched the green. Said they'd be a packer, that's the coldest thing. Like the people that you thought would ride or die looked you in your face and said goodbye, bye, bye. Daddy said no, city said go. Now the whole world knows. Nobody loves you though, nobody loves you. Loves you. Nobody cares, from Soldier Field to nothing, and nobody's there. Nobody needs you. That's what they said, not a priority, baby. Get that through your head, through your head. You asked your daddy, do you love me? He said, I never loved you. You asked your city, do you need me? They said we never did. You asked the governor to save you. He said, not a priority, not a priority. And now you're going to Gary. Isn't that a pity? Here we go. Nobody loves you. Nobody cares. 100 years of history and nobody's there. Nobody wants you. Now you finally know. Pack your bags for Indiana. Time to go. So welcome into Gary. Welcome to the end. Second team in Indiana, how's it feel, friend? From the founding of the league to a punchline joke. Couldn't write a sadder story if you tried, that's cold. The Packers on you, always did and always will. Your fans ran north to Wisconsin for the thrill. 100 years of nothing and it ends like this. Nobody loved you and you won't be missed. Nobody loves you. Nobody cares. Nobody wants you. Nobody's there. Nobody loves you. Welcome to Gary.